Hey, what's up, Street Talks? It's Eric from the Eric from Street Photography blog. So I wanted to share with you some practical ideas on success. So essentially everything I'm going to say here is just advice I wish I could have given myself if I started photography and life all over again. So in modern society, we all want to be successful. And it's interesting because this notion of being successful is a very modern one. I don't think in any of the ancient Greek or Roman philosophy I read, I don't think I've ever actually heard the word success mentioned at all. Which made me wonder, when we say we want to be successful, what do we really mean? So obviously in modern society, the notion of success is to buy a house, to have a bunch of money, to have $1 million in the bank, 2.5 kids, a dog, white picket fence, blah, blah, blah. And the thing was, in photography, I was striving towards that too, as I wanted to be a successful photographer. And basically that meant for me is to fulfill my desires of traveling the world, owning a digital Leica, becoming famous, getting a book deal, solo exhibitions, and so forth. And I essentially hit all of my life goals in photography. And that day that happened, I just said, wait, that's it? Do I have anything else more to strive towards in life? And actually got a little bit, like maybe a slightly depressed, in the sense I was just like, wait, what's that next thing I should strive toward? There certainly should be more to life than this. And it took a lot of soul searching, and it took a lot of philosophizing and thinking about it. But I started to question this notion of success and tried to really think to myself, what is success? And why is it important? What does it mean to us? And so forth. And this is a pretty interesting idea I have. Rather than us thinking of success as some sort of final destination we need to reach, let us rather think of success as a process. So think of success like a verb. I'll give you a practical example. So when I go to the gym, so currently my life goal is to deadlift 500 pounds. And if I go to the gym, and let's say last week I deadlifted 435 pounds, and today I want to deadlift 440 pounds. To me, success is just showing up to the gym, it's just getting my ass in there. Because maybe we should think of success like a verb, that whenever we're advancing towards our life goals, that in itself is success. And to me, I think success is actually less about the reality of achieving your goals. It's more of the idea of constant advancement towards your goals. So for example, let's say I try to deadlift 440 pounds and I cannot successfully get it all the way up. I didn't necessarily fail in terms of being successful. It's more of like, I pat myself on the back, and I'm actually quite proud of myself that at least I attempted it, I tried it, I advanced towards my goal, and I gave it my all. And to me, that's actually more gratifying and satisfying than having achieved it. Because once you do achieve any of your life goals, to be frank, it's a little bit anticlimactic. It's like, for example, one of my life goals was to deadlift 405 pounds, and the day I did it, there weren't no fucking fireworks and confetti flying all over the place. It was kind of like, it's kind of like that scene of the film Lost in the Air or Stuck in the Air, the George Clooney film. I don't know that film. But anyways, his goal was to join the 1,000,000 clubs, where he accumulated 1,000,000 miles, and finally towards the end of the film he achieves it. They give him like a bottle of champagne and a little card, and then he's just like, wait, what? That's it? So it's kind of the similar thing too in life, is that we have these goals, like one day I want to buy a house, I want to buy this car, I want to get this and that, I want to have a bunch of money, blah blah. And once you achieve it, it's a little bit, yeah, it's quite lackluster. It's not what we meant, we cracked it up to be. And so I think in life, perhaps we should take a different view of success, to think of success as a constant process. And this is a practical tip. Every moment throughout the day, just ask yourself, am I taking actions to advance myself towards my personal life goals? Am I using every single moment of the day while I'm still awake and well to work towards my life goals and to act or engage in actions which I agree with? So for example, one of my life goals right now is I want to encourage more of you guys to be entrepreneurs. I think society is dependent on us. I got super inspired after reading Nassim Taleb's new book, Skin in the Game, where maybe in the past, if you wanted to be a hero, you essentially be a warrior. But in today's modern life, I mean, of course you could join the military, but for the most of us, there is no such notion of a hero. And who is really hero worship in society now? Entrepreneurs, like people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, anyone who creates something out of nothing through a business. And I think people have the wrong notion of hero worship and entrepreneurship, is that they think that they're only worshiping people who become super rich. But I think that's kind of a silly measure of success. I would rather us think of this notion of success as taking risks for us to use our human metabolism and our life force to become the change which we wish to see in the world, in the words of Gandhi, and also for us to do things, create things, make things which empower other people and society. I studied sociology in school, and thinking about how society controls us is something that's very interesting to me. And what I want to encourage you and for everyone else in society to think, how can I take more control over my individual actions, my thoughts, and the way I live my life, and to use my short, uncertain life in the most meaningful, impactful, and effective way possible. And for me, that's blogging, it's vlogging, it's writing, thinking, essentially creating information and knowledge, and to share new ideas, which I hopefully helps drive the human race forward. And it's a constant process, because it ain't like one day you wake up, you're like, okay, I have the fucking answer, and then your life's solved. Like even now, like I have financial independence, I have all the toys that I've ever wanted, but I'm not like happy. I'm not like wake up, I'm like, shit's so great. Every day I wake up, I'm just like, I want to be on to the next thing. And like, obviously I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm grateful for my past accomplishments, but still in the pit of my being is a sense of dissatisfaction of the way things are in the world, the tools which exist, information which is out there. And I really want to change the world in a positive and meaningful way. And for myself, I've been focusing on using that source of dissatisfaction to drive me forward, essentially. Because I think the moment you're satisfied, you don't do shit no more, right? Like let me give you a practical example. If you were perfectly happy and content with everything in life, what would be the difference between you and a cow, right? And you would not have any motivation or impetus to do anything, to change anything, to challenge anything. And I think in life ain't about being happy. I think life is about constantly challenging yourself. It's constantly pushing yourself to the next level and pushing your personal limits, or what you perceive your limits to be. And the challenge is fun, the challenge is interesting, and the challenge is meaningful. And it's something that, you know, I personally endeavor to live to be 120 years old in fantastic health, but of course that's uncertain. Who knows, maybe I'll die today in a car accident. Who knows, maybe I'll choke on myself when I'm sleeping and not wake up the next morning. But yeah, life is short and uncertain. And you know, it don't matter how many zeros and commas you accumulate in your bank account. When you die, you can't take it with you. And even though you have all of the sensual pleasures in life, once again, what's the difference between a cow being happy munching on grass and you driving around a new Lambo? In terms of the endorphins and the serotonin, I'm sure it has the same effect. So let us constantly think to ourselves every moment of the day, thinking, am I using this moment meaningfully? Am I pushing myself? Am I essentially being the change which I wish to see in the world? I think life is short, life is uncertain, and the secret to a happy life, I think, is to constantly challenge yourself, to constantly question, to always be skeptical, to keep making, to gain control. And I think the only way to do that is to be an entrepreneur. So I think moving forward, even in terms of my workshops and what I do on this blog and this YouTube channel, whatever, is really to maybe encourage more forms of entrepreneurial thinking. And if you're watching this video, you're already an entrepreneur, right? Like if you already have a social media account and you're sharing pictures, or you have some sort of online presence or persona, you're an entrepreneur. And I don't think it's a badge you need to earn, like, you know, earning a Boy Scout badge or anything for doing X, Y, and Z. Entrepreneurship is just more of a mindset. Am I willing to take risks for what I believe in? Am I willing to create things, to produce things, to put myself out there? And yeah, us fellow entrepreneurs, I do think that it is within the power of the individual to make a big impact in society. And I think that you could be that person. So never lose faith in yourself. Like DJ Khaled says, don't play yourself. Be the change what you wish to see in the world. Hustle hard and ask yourself, am I being successful right now towards my life goals? Peace out.